Former Mountain View Town Councilman Brent Metz is on trial right now.
A 17-year-old took the stand today testifying about the moments before prosecutors say Metz shot that 17-year-old in the face.
Attorneys for Metz say he never intended to actually shoot the teenager. Your reporter in the foothills, Alan Janae, has been in the courtroom all day long and breaks down what happened.
Brent Metz is not claiming that he did not shoot the teenager. He was, after all, arrested on scene in September of 2024 with the gun. His defense's claim is that the gun he had, a Sig Sauer P320, went off without him pulling the trigger. He came upon the boys as they were parked along a road in front of his girlfriend's property where they had gone to ask for permission to take photos. Today, the boy who was shot, who was 17 at the time, now 19, took the stand. He has recovered well from his injuries, but reflected an emotional story of getting shot. For Brent Metz, it was a day in which the prosecution brought out testimony from the shooting victim. The jury listened to his recollection of being shot in the face through the windshield of his car. The young man, Jack, told the story of going up to the home where he and a friend sought to ask permission to take homecoming photos, then went back out to Jack's car parked along the road. He told of seeing Metz's truck pulling up in front of them. He testified, "I just got the door open. I kind of turned to open my door and then turned to get out. And I saw someone get out, and then it was black." He blacked out for a time after being shot, didn't remember Metz saying anything, but Jack did testify that he raised his hands at some point. After coming to, Jack said, "I looked down and I thought I was going to die. So I said that a couple of times. And my mouth was on fire, and it felt like my upper lip was gone, and I could taste little fragments." He said he remembered his friend and Metz trying to help him get out of the car. "He helped me sit down, and then he walked away," he explained about Metz's behavior. It followed hours of testimony about the gun, a Sig Sauer P320. The prosecution brought out an engineer who had tested the weapon and reported finding no problems with it.
There was nothing about the gun that, through the testing or through the examination of the components, indicated it would function any other way than the way it was designed and left the factory.
The defense was unable to get much from firearms testing expert Derek Watkins, other than he had taken money to testify on behalf of the safety of Sig Sauer weapons in the past.
You've made quite a lot of money coming in repeating that claim that this weapon cannot discharge without a trigger pull, and it's been rejected. You even testified on that earlier.
Not from a scientific standpoint. It's never been rejected, and it's never been disproven.
The defense now makes its case. There have been some lawsuits around the country about the P320, most of which have been dismissed or dropped, but a couple of which did result in judgments against the manufacturer. There are some police departments around the country that restrict or prohibit the use, by the way, of the P320. That might come up. One of the other key issues here is whether Brent Metz pointed the gun at the boys, as one of the boys testified, or whether he did not, as the defense claims. That will be key for the jury to decide as the case wraps up, expected tomorrow. In Jefferson County, I'm Alan Janae, covering Colorado First.